Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has announced a mega bumper sop for women, crediting a total of 5,000 rupees directly into bank accounts of 1 crore 31 lakh women beneficiaries. This is a massive scheme that's always been there in Tamil Nadu. But what we've seen essentially is an advance of 3,000 being credited because, as the Chief Minister says, that money will not go through because he says the Election Commission will block it, and add to it a bumper 2,000 rupees that's been announced. Let's get you all the details on, in fact, what this means. It's become, of course, a major political flashpoint also ahead of the elections in the state. Joining us on this broadcast, we've got Dr Kanimozhi Somu, Member of Parliament from the Dravidian Munnetra Kazhagam. Vanakkam, ma'am. Thank you for your time. Dr Sumanth C Raman, political analyst, is also with us. Dr Sumanth C Raman, I'd like to begin with you first. What you make of this particular announcement? Is this truly going to be a game changer in securing the women vote for the DMK?
I'm not too sure how much of an impact it would have. It would certainly have some impact. Now, the point really is that people are seeing this to some extent for what it is. A kind of a, the only word one can use here is a kind of a bribe. Because let's forget this 1,000 rupees being released in advance. There is 2,000 rupees being given for summer expenses. Now, when in the history of Tamil Nadu has summer expenses been given to women? And what are these summer expenses? Now, will there be monsoon expenses, winter expenses, and various other excuses for giving out, distributing cash? I mean, it is extremely unfortunate that here is a government that is borrowing 1 lakh crore rupees every year, which has doubled the debt of the state, and which very pertinently has been indicted by the CAG for having spent the borrowed money on day-to-day operations. So I think that it's extremely unfortunate. Like I said, 1,000 rupees was a campaign promise. You gave 1,000 rupees. Now you're giving it in advance to prevent the Election Commission from clamping down. No problem. But what is this extra 2,000? You have given 3,000 for Pongal this year.
Dr. Kanimozhi Somu, would you like to respond to that? Is this essentially, let's be very clear, timed to an election?
I wouldn't look at that as in the way, the context of what Dr. Sumanth C Raman is speaking. See, really, we are very, very careful of dealing with the women's Magali Urimai Thogai. And we know Tamil Nadu State Legislative Assembly elections are around the corner. And in the last week of February, we are going to have the announcement for the dates. And once it is announced, we would not be in a position to give it to the women who have been benefiting. Around 1.31 crore of women has been benefited through the Magali Urimai Thogai scheme, which we know, which they have been getting it for the last 3 years, post 2 years of COVID. And we are in the concern of the women should have this welfare in the proper way. That was the reason for giving it in an advance of around February, March, and April, the 3,000. The 2,000 what Dr. Sumanth C Raman is talking about, yes, of course, we are very sure we would make it up again in the 2026 in the April elections, 2.0 Dravidian government election model election. We will win, and we would come out. We can also say it. Yes, we have given it for the month of May and June, and those 2 months are the months where the women has to pay the fees for the kids. Taking all this into the consideration, as a brotherly, as a fatherly affection, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has given this. Now, another point, what Sumanth C Raman sir said was, he said Tamil Nadu is borrowing so much and giving it in this side. Let me be very clear this point. We are borrowing, we are giving it. Our GDP is also in the double digit from what it was in the previous 2 terms of the AIADMK's government. But we are not borrowing and paying the interest as what the central government is doing. Let us be very clear on that. The central government
is good economics, ma'am. Ultimately, there's always been a debate over these kind of schemes of money, of doles being given out, whether it's good economics. Would you concede that it's not?
Let us not call it as doles, ma'am. Let us be very clear that it is a Urimai Thogai for the women, and it is their right to take it, because we have named it that way. And let us not put that word of dole. It doesn't, as a woman, I don't think we should also respect our womankind. and let us call it as Urimai Thogai, or the right to women, what we are giving it, ma'am.
Ma'am, a dole merely is a benefit. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's a wrong term to use. But sure, Dr. Sumanth C Raman, go ahead quickly before I bring in Mr. Kovai Sathyan.
I want to know whether women did not have to pay their children's school fees for the last 4 years. Only this year, schools have started collecting fees, before they reopen. What kind of logic is this? 4 years, this government has completed. They're completing 5 years. They've never given summer expenses. And why can't, and a government, madam says, we are anyway coming back to power. So why do you need to give 2,000 rupees like this randomly? There is no
Dr.
reason, no
Somu, do you
logic.
want to respond?
You can give it
Yes,
after the election. Once you
Go
are
ahead,
back
ma'am.
to power.
ma'am. We would have our elections in 7 or 8 phases. The whole India is aware of it. And definitely after the elections, everything has to settle down by May first week. Only then we would come back. And we are just taking care of our womanhood who's been toiling for all these years.
No, but to the
It is
question that
a
Dr.
They were
Sumanth
not
C Raman
toiling
has
for
asked about
free.
every year,
They have
about
been
every
paying
other year.
fees with all the difficulty, ma'am. We
they
see
didn't toil.
men usually, more than men, women take care of the family these days because we have empowered
They
women
started
in Tamil
only this
Nadu.
year.
They have been
Until
given
this year, they were
education.
not
Then
taking care of
compared to
families, madam.
men, women take it on the stroll and they do so many things.
So why
This
hasn't this been
2000,
done in the last 4
Only
years,
this
ma'am?
year they started taking care of their
ma'am,
families.
we
Last
have
four
been,
years they
see,
didn't take
we
care.
have already told in the 2026, along with this fund release credit, our Chief Minister has also announced that in the next manifesto, it would go up to 2,000. So it is a precursor of that. That is all. You should look at it like that as a benefit for the women.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with, it's like a chumma, they're just borrowing, giving. It's nothing for it. It is for the women welfare sake. It is for the women livelihood is what we are trying to give. Anyway, we are
Okay.
going to announce 2,000 is our election manifesto, which has been announced by our Chief Minister.
So
As
ultimately,
a
the also
precursor,
the,
it's
the
been there.
political takeaway of this, and I'll bring in Mr. Kovai Sathyan on this of the AIADMK. I'll come back to you, sir. Mr. Kovai Sathyan, what do you make of this? Is this something that the AIADMK will be worried about? That this could be a game changer of sorts in getting in the women vote for the DMK, which is about 1.5 months to go?
Hey, after this announcement, two things have become evident and clear. The first thing is when our leader announced the increase of this to 2,000 rupees from our earlier manifesto of 1,500, DMK's MK Stalin is so rattled and scared because his ground has started to slip really faster than what he is really thought. And the second thing is the desperation of crowning his son Udhayanidhi to the role of chief minister is so evident. So this fear of loss and desperation has driven this rolling out of 2,000 rupees. That's clear. And what is more surprising is the kind of narratives that DMK's ecosystem is peddling and justifying this summer dole of 2,000 rupees. A while ago, another spokesperson says that the 2,000 rupees is for buying the uniforms for the school children. Now here it is for the school fees. So clearly evident this DMK, the entire ecosystem is rattled because this is going to be the end of the dynasty, end of the political journey of MK Stalin and his son Udhayanidhi. This will put an
Dr.
end to the
Somu,
dynasty. And what
Dr.
is more
Somu, do you want to
important is
respond?
10
Do you want
seconds,
to
10
respond?
seconds, 10,
Yeah,
10
finish
seconds, 10
quickly.
seconds. What is more important is 2021, the poll promised by MK Stalin is 1,000 rupees will given for every woman. The total number of voters stands at 3 crore and 3.24
Okay.
crores.
Okay.
Now
Dr.
rolling
Kanimozhi
out for
Somu?
1,30,000 and
Yeah,
saying that they deserve it, they have the right, they are eligible,
a crore,
clearly
yes.
has not gone well with the rest of 2.24 crores.
Okay, Dr.
And
Kanimozhi
finally,
Somu, do you want to
30 lakh
respond to the
women,
AIADMK
30 lakh
saying,
women getting the eligibility after 55 months,
okay, sir,
just 5 months before
let the
the
DMK
election.
respond to what you've said. Dr. Kanimozhi Somu, your response to the AIADMK saying this is merely a reaction.
Ma'am, it is not so. We have seen the ADMK head Edapadi Palanisamy saying that giving 1,000 rupees is a bribe and all that. It cannot be given because when they left the government, they had put their almost, it was a nil balance and it was in the minus what they had kept and went. But now it is not so. It has drastically, a financial status of Tamil Nadu has increased. Of course, we have borrowed. He might say, Sathyan might say, yes, they have taken. Yes, we have borrowed. We have grown the GDP. The GDP from single digit, what was in the AIADMK period, has now come to double digit. Our industrial growth has come. Our CM has gone and brought in the funds from abroad to Tamil Nadu for investing here. Growth is happening. Women force is getting more and more into working ecosystem for women, and Tamil Nadu has improved. The
Okay.
higher education quality of percentage of dropouts have come down because of the other various schemes, because we have been giving 1,000 rupees of again over there for those students who are getting into post graduation. See, these are all we empowering women towards education, so that we
Okay.
have to have in mind. Okay,
Let me
so
bring
this
in,
is the
let me
point.
bring in Thenmozhi Prasanna, spokesperson of the TVK. Thenmozhi, as a woman politician particularly, do you agree with this particular step that's been taken, that this ultimately benefits women?
It benefits women, I agree. But the thing is, my question is, both the parties have ruled for the past 75 years nearly, and if the people are still in a stage to get a relief and then get the school, they have discussed about like getting the school children uniform and then school fees and all those things. Is this how the economy of the people are still there? They have to accept that. And they were talking about the industrial growth, but they have to give a white paper report that how many industries have been created and how many job opportunities have been created. Have they really created the job opportunities as per the promises they have given in the manifesto that yearly 10 lakhs jobs nearly they will create? They have to
Okay.
say that. The another thing is they are giving 2,000 now, but they have announced that they will give for all women, but they have been given for the first some months, and then after people asking, after people questioned, they have started to
Which the
give.
AIADMK has maintained is their impact essentially. Before I wrap this up, final word to Mr.
Yes, it
Sumanth
is.
C Raman.
We
You've
will
heard
say
what the
it is,
DMK and the
if Vijay
TVK,
is impact.
AIADMK have said on this. I know Mr. Vijay has said take the money and go ahead and vote for him. But ultimately, Mr. Sumanth C Raman, what do you see this impact of? Do you see this having an impact on the ground? The women vote matters a whole lot in Tamil Nadu. You may be making promises by other political parties, but getting that money in your wallet makes a big difference.
Yeah, we saw that in Bihar. We saw the impact in Bihar, and definitely there will be an impact. That is the reason why they are doing this. But the point is, what is actually happening is that democracy is now being auctioned to the highest bidder. Whoever is in power can keep paying money, public money. Mind you, I want to point out one thing. I mean, Dr. Somu, Kanimozhi Somu said, we are not paying interest on the loans. 70,000 crore Tamil Nadu is paying as interest every year. It was 33,000 crore when this government came to power. They have increased the interest alone by 35,000 crore. And that is going to be an ongoing sum. Every year, 35,000 crore. Out of the state's budget of 3,20,000 odd crore that the state collects overall,
Yeah.
1,30,000 crore is going in
You know,
salaries,
ultimately,
70,000 crore is going in interest. What is going for capital expenditure? Hardly anything.
no, ultimately, that is the question that will be asked about, all the doles that we say. And I use the word doles very consciously here because this isn't something that's limited to Tamil Nadu. We see it across the country that politics before an election is all about ensuring benefit to certain sections of the society, hoping it will translate to votes. And is that going to cost us also? Look at the economics of it, the cost of something like this. Again, I'll highlight that this isn't just a Tamil Nadu problem, but perhaps a pan-India problem. I'll leave it at that. I'd like to thank all our panelists for joining us as I wrap up this edition of To The Point. Thanks for tuning in.